Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making sausage buns. If you'd like to see how this recipe is achieved, please stay tuned. So for this recipe, I'll be using plain flour. I'll also be using two different types of sausages. So I'm using turkey sausage and chicken sausage. And I'll also be using table salt, baking powder, liquid milk, sugar, melted butter, and yeast. So the first thing I want to do, I'll be adding my milk. You want to make sure your milk is warm. So you just add the milk into the bowl, and next I'm just going to be adding my sugar. And I'll also be adding melted butter, but just a little bit of it into the mixture. And now I'm just going to give it a very good mix. So after mixing it, I'm just going to be adding my yeast to it. I'm just drizzling it all over the recipe, and I'll be mixing it again before setting it aside for about 10 minutes. If this is your first time visiting my channel, you're welcome. Please support me by subscribing to my channel as I upload new recipes every week, and I'll be glad to have you in the Mogus Meals family. So like I said, I'm just going to cover it and set it aside for about 10 minutes to make sure the yeast is properly fermented before bringing it back. So after 10 minutes, I brought it back, and you can see that the yeast fermented a bit. It looks a little bit thick, so I'm just going to add a little bit of the plain flour first, and I'm just going to give it a good mix. You don't want to add too much at the time, just a little bit. You want to make sure you mix them until there are no lumps or seed, until it's like smooth as you can see. Just keep mixing it until you get a smooth consistency. Then after that, you can add more of the flour, a little bit of salt, and baking powder. After that, I'm just going to give it a good mix. Make sure the flour is properly combined with the rest of the ingredients in the bowl. So you want to give it a very good mix, like as you can see I'm doing. I mixed it for about a minute, and you can see my consistency. It's all together. The ingredients have come together, and they're looking like one good flour dough. So now I'm just adding my melted butter. I'm just rubbing it all over the dough in the bowl, and I'm just giving it a good rub before I'm going to cover it and set it aside. So I'm using the same foil and the cloth again. I'm just going to cover it and set it aside in a warm place for about an hour until it doubles in size. So you can see it has doubled in size. You can see how good it looks. So you can see my butter is all over the mixture. So I'm just going to take it out of the bowl and move straight to the kneading process. So I'm adding a little bit of butter. My melted butter has gone cold because it was left out, but I'm just adding a little bit, and I'm just going to knead it for about 10 minutes to make sure it's properly incorporated and the dough is really soft. If you're still watching and you've not subscribed to my channel, please support me by subscribing to my channel, and please don't forget to like and share this video also. Thank you. So after kneading it for about 10 minutes, you can see my flour is looking good. My dough is looking good, I mean to say, looking good. So I'm just rubbing a little bit of flour on my working table, and also I'm rubbing flour on my rolling pin as well before I roll out the dough into a flat shape. So now I'm just going to roll out the dough into a flat shape. Like I said, after rolling it, you can see how it looks. You can make it as thin or as thick as you want it to be on the sausage. So mine is a little bit thin, not too thick. So I'm just cutting out the edges because I want a straight shape in order to wrap it around the sausage. So I'll remove the edges and set it aside. So now I'm just cutting it into a straight shape. As you can see, I'm just making a thin line across the dough to make sure it comes out looking straight. So I picked one of the sausage, and I'm just going to wrap it on the sausage. So I seal the edge of the sausage with the dough, and I'm just going to wrap it around it. And afterwards, I'm also sealing the bottom part onto the remaining of the dough. And then I'll be setting it on my baking tray. So this is how my sausage bun looks like. I'm just going to set it down and leave it for a few minutes. So next, I'm just going to repeat the same process for all the sausage until they are completely done. So like I said, just wrap it around and seal off the edge to the remaining part of the dough as I'm doing, and just set it on the baking tray. So for the shorter ones, I'm just going to reduce the size of the dough that I already cut out, and still repeat the same process by wrapping it around. You see, I sealed off the edge first and then the bottom ones to the dough again, and make sure it's properly spaced out. So this is how my smaller ones look like. It's a little bit small though. So the remaining of my dough, I'm not going to throw them away. I'm going to use them for something else. There is no waste in this. So this is how my sausage buns look like. And now you can see they are looking good. It's already coming together, as you can see. So I'm just going to be adding egg wash to it. So you can leave it a bit to make it rise for about 5 to 10 minutes before adding the egg wash. You can just go straight ahead to add the egg wash before baking it. So I left mine, I think, about for 5 to 10 minutes before adding the egg wash to it. So this is how it looks like. It's looking good. So I'm just gonna bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes on 180 degrees and leave it for a while to cool before serving it. So after baking it, this is how my sausage bun looks like. You can see the golden brown color. It looks good. It is yummy. I couldn't show you guys the inside because I was just in a hurry to eat it. This is a closer look of it. And like I said, there is no waste. I used the remaining dough to make cinnamon rolls. If you've not seen my cinnamon rolls video, please check it out. Thank you guys for watching.